Hi, my name's Jim. I'm here to talk about painting in a bit of an unusual way. The title of the talk is Art Wars, the Battle for Surface. Pretty much everyone is familiar with the images behind me. They're from France, from quite a long time ago, the Lascaux region, 17,000 years old, different dates. This is an elegant, fresh, sexy bull of some sorts, and it's a wonderful picture. And this type of painting, talent and lines, drawings, and it's a representational image, and it's largely embodies the art history of Western culture. Hundreds and hundreds of years has been representational art. In Lascaux, though, in the caves, there's a different type of paint handling. It's the hands. And I realize that they're meant largely as a signature. Hi, I painted this, or I'm the artist, or somehow make a mark on the wall. Hi, I'm here. Both of these types of work are very physical. Even the beast, as elegant as the lines are, it's on this rough stone wall. So this is very physical art. Western art history became quite refined. The surfaces were glass smooth. The detail was just incredible. But this is more of this is where my heart is. This didn't involve any talent at all. You needed a mouth of soupy paint and a hand. Then, of course, you had a dirty hand and a mouthful of mud. But the sophistication of this image, this is more than just a signature. This is almost composed. I mean, this is a great image, just like this. And in this battle, in Western art history, this side won. Representation took the prize. This represents our heritage. Up until the 20th century. And then what happened, the representation started to break down. You had exaggerations, Manet, you had different artists. I'm going to skip ahead to Van Gogh, who really started to break down the surface and really started to become physical with picture making. And this is a detail of one of his paintings. You'll see what I mean. He's not trying to refine the image. He's giving us a more physical presence. The picture itself becomes more of an object. And the image, they said impression, but it's like feeling, the physicality of the paint. And this is indicative of a breakdown of representational destination. So he's battling for surface. He's battling the representational side with surface. It becomes interesting. The battle does become interesting. There's various sub-battles of people trying to wrest representation away from mainstream art making. But where this battle, the art wars, really ends up is in abstract expressionism. Now, I find this comparison very interesting. This is the detail of a de Kooning. They're really quite similar. The de Kooning is more bold, it's bigger, it's larger scale, it's much more abstract, it's freer. But de Kooning himself started with representation, and these marks are direct directly related back to representation. He started with women and different subject matter, and he made marks as a representational artist. And where the battle returns directly back to Lascaux is between these two men. This is a detail of a Jackson Pollock picture. And this is process painting purely and simply. There's no talent involved. It's about ideas and freedom. And this represents the hands, and this is the beast. This is talent, and this is process. This is the battle for surface right here. And I believe this side wins. I have to return to just say a few words. When I say that this side wins, I'm being very serious. And what I'm talking about is this is a cultural battle right here. And this battle, the way I understand picture making, this battle represents the death of representational image making. Well, the battle royale between de Kooning and Pollock really wasn't a battle for the future. It was a battle of the past. It was the beasts versus the hands. And irregardless of who you think won that battle, my understanding of the future of picture making runs through this piece by Picasso. It is not a sculpture, it is a picture. It comes out of Cubism and the tendency to assemblage, attach literal physical objects to the picture. That was an effort to make the picture stronger, to make it better. And this is one of my favorite pictures of all time. Picasso was ambidextrous. He was able to paint the beasts, and he was also then able to see process painting, like spraying soupy paint around his hand. He literally took some rusty old sheet metal and metal cutter and assembled it into a guitar. And to me, this is a stronger picture than any guitar that he ever painted, and he did paint hundreds. The heart and soul of picture making runs, as I said, straight through this piece and leads directly to Frank Stella. And I don't have any images of Stella's work. He's a prodigiously creative personality. I see him as the Giotto of our time. He has fully embodied picture making in a 3D sense. And it's kind of counterintuitive because instead of making it more graphic, you literally have to stand and experience them in person. You have to stand in front of them. So even though they're fully 3D, you have to be in front of them to experience them. I just think it's kind of funny. But I would like to then switch back over to my pictures. Here we are in a modern cave, inhabited by modern cave dwellers. And as you can see, they also have a preference for decorating their walls with art also. Not quite direct similarities, but I would suggest that this is more related to the hands than the beasts, as it's a progress type surface making and not talent based. It's not representational in any sense of the word. The piece is constructed completely out of aluminum scrap. I make planter boxes, and these are cutoffs which I bend and arrange in a composition and weld up, and they have colored foil gilded onto their surface. The idea behind it is is more in keeping with science, with the Webb Space Telescope and Hubble, where through technology we're seeing and discovering fully spatial objects, exploding stars, colliding galaxies, magnetars, black holes, things that we'll never see directly outside of our technology. And the work here involving real space is an attempt to mimic that kind of free composition and free-floating gravity systems and multiple star systems, and a more developed and real sense of three-dimensional space in a pictorial venue. Well, here we are back in my cave. This is some of my current work. I've tried to sort of reduce it into a simpler format. It's basically just color ribbons. In comparison to flat painting, which you would have a geometric breakup of the subject matter to try to get an interesting looking movement. What you're seeing here is you're seeing simple forms that are twisted and torqued and curved. And it's sort of interesting to make because as you start with flat strips, you learn about how many different types of curvature there are. There's like a lot. You can bend it this way or that way. It's almost like you wonder if musicians are ever going to run out of music. And it's like, no. And so there's so many different ways to curve things that it's kind of cool. But a lot of the pictorial movement then comes from the interaction of the real space. It's not a graphic interlocking. It's a twisting and curving and flowing of the pictorial elements. See for yourself. So what is art today? What do you do with it? Where does it come from? Why would anyone even bother? It's if you understand my argument about the battle for surface, let's bring the surface into real space, and like the hands at Lascaux and like Pollock with his drips, let's just use process. Let's not try to show off our talent. Let's show off our ideas and our real physical processes. And let's make things that people want. Like, if you drink a really good wine, you want another glass. And that's one of the few things you can say about art is that if it's good, people will want it. They'll want to art eat it or steal it from a museum or something. But art can instill that kind of desire in people. And if it does represent true language, it can have that type of power. And this is just an effort to add more real space into picture making. Okay, how to be a great artist. So you make a frame, you make some weird shapes, and you stick them on the wall. You stick them together. So let's go like that. And then a counterpoint. Add a third or fourth, a little extra color, and you're home free. No talent required. Process painting.